Next chapter is called Trigonometry and Steam. So during this phase of Indian history, the 18th century and onwards, you see Calcutta becoming settled as a British trading post, and it was named after a local village called Kalikata. Calcutta was unique because this is where the British opened universities and educational facilities, and you saw this new type of interaction between Indian and British scholars. James Reynolds first published this atlas of Bengal and became known as the father of Indian geography. So during this following period, you start to see the expansion of the British Empire in India. The British begin to develop an extensive geographic knowledge of the subcontinent, and even measured Mount Everest. This is when you see the survey of India going around and trying to map out as much as they could. Now, as the British were expanding, there were many rebellions that would pop up, but they were immediately put down very quickly because the British had all these resources. There are many stories of these last-ditch efforts to resist the British before they inevitably took it over. After the East India Trading Company begins to expand significantly, the British Crown takes it over. Of the good things that the British had done in India, one of them was the train system, which expands to connect the entire subcontinent, and of course was expanded afterwards. And you start also during the 19th century, you see the establishment of Bombay in an archipelago, which was then connected to become one city. British surveyors also used Indian travelers to gain knowledge of Tibet, and there's an interesting there's a quite funny story in the book about this. And the number of lions in India during this time period becomes drastically reduced due to hunting. And now you see them sort of cornered in modern India. They're in this area in Gujarat, in northern Gujarat. So during this time period, you also see the establishment of the New Delhi. So during the 19th century, Purana Killa was considered Old Delhi, and Shah Jahanabad was considered New Delhi. But now they created a New Delhi that incorporates Purana Killa. So this is when you start to see, you can kind of see there's many overlapping Delhis sort of being built throughout Delhi's history. The 19th century is also when you see Indians traveling en masse to locations overseas. In the last chapter of this book, Sanjeev Sanyal talks about the formation of modern India. So you start to see, first, you have the British Raj and the princely states incorporating, with the exception of a few states. Hyderabad was a Hindu majority state with a Muslim ruler, and Kashmir was a Muslim majority state with a Hindu ruler. So these became problematic. And so the Indian army had to take Hyderabad, and Goa as well. Goa was a Portuguese colony that they attempted to make a state in Portugal. And Kashmir is an issue to this day. So this chapter, he goes into an immense amount of detail about this process of splitting India up and trying to create this modern India. And then during this time period, you see the Sino-Indian War, which sees the loss of Aksai Chin to China, and the Indo-Pakistani War, which sees the liberation of Bangladesh. I would highly recommend this book to anybody who is looking to expand, at least begin to expand their knowledge about Indian history, and I hope that this is a platform that can help generate interest in the subject among the Indian people, because this is our history. This is something that sort of is we are the result of this history. So thank you very much.